Howdy hooligans. Today, I'm a professor. So, as you may or may not know, or maybe I'm not posting this on the day, but it is Valentine's Day. It's the big old V Day. Obviously, there's history behind Valentine's Day, and there's like, oh, Saint Valentine, and something with love letters, and haha. Like, I don't know what it is, and I don't remember if it's like fake or if it was real or whatever, because, I wasn't alive yet, so. But I do know about Cupid, and I do know about Greek mythology. So guess what today is going to be about? Forget fucking Valentine's Day. It's Cupid Day. It's a little different. So, Cupid is the son of Aphrodite. He's basically her little henchman, and he does all her stuff like all the time. And so Aphrodite was basically like, hey, I got an enemy. She's too pretty. She's almost prettier than me. Okay, you got to take her out. Be my hitman. And he was like, okay, cool. No payment, no nothing. He's just like, sure, why not? He went to go see her. Oh, she was really pretty. That's her only value, is that she's really pretty, you guys. And so she was all upset, and so she basically like was trying to commit suicide, but he saved her and was like, marry me. And she was like, I literally know nothing about you. Also, I can't see you right now. Where's your face? What's happening? But you say you have a nice little palace. You seem to be pretty rich, so why not? And so she did. The terms of the marriage, though, is that she could never see him. Like, she could never see his face. They would talk and stuff, but, like, he would never be around when they were talking. It's kind of strange. But it's all cool, that was the deal, and she was like, this is fine. I get to live I get to live a life of leisure, and I get to have pretty dresses and pretty crowns and pretty jewels. Like, why not? So yeah, she would have her sisters over and like splurge the goodies with her and whatever. And eventually they're like, dude, where the fuck is your husband? Like, I literally never see him. I never have seen him. You just like kind of up and got married. Like, where is he? And she's like, well, I've never really seen him, even though she's not really supposed to tell anybody that. And so they're like, hun, I mean, basically think of it how you and I would think of it. Like, if one of your close friends or a sibling of yours literally got married and then they spill the tea that they have actually never seen whoever it is that they're marrying, it kind of sounds like a Nigerian prince scenario where, like, you just get this random email. It's like, send me your social security number, $5 million, and then I'll make it 20 billion. Like, that seems a little sketchy, don't you think? So, of course, they were concerned and like, well, you have to see him, duh. And so they eventually convinced her to look at his face, which he said, don't do that. I swear to God, if you do that, don't. Just don't do it. And so she did, but as she was doing so in the middle of the night with her little candle, some of the wax dripped onto his face. And he was like, excuse you, bitch, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And so he was like, I'm out. Peace and hair grease. And so she grabbed onto his foot and was like, no, stop, I'm a prego ego. And he was like, I don't care. Bye. And so then the castle disappeared. She was kind of like in the same place, but there was literally nothing around, so she was like, the fuck? Basically, that's kind of like all of Greek mythology. Nothing really makes sense. All of the marriages are completely asinine. Like, they have no logical foundation at all. But, you can just make the argument and say, it's the olden times. It's like, people didn't really care. They just got married for wealth and beauty. Both of those things fade. Never do that. But yeah, weird marriages, right? Another one, Hades. Hades and Persephone. Many people, like, kind of know this story, but not really. Yeah, so basically, Persephone was, like, chilling. She was doing fine and dandy, picking her flowers and being a weird Tumblr hipster girl. And Hades was just like, hey, she fine. And so he snatched her up after he opened the ground, and he brought her all the way down to the underworld. Which, if that doesn't scream romance, what does? Yay. We love it when your husband literally kidnaps you. Yeah. And so there was never a marriage. There was never anything. He was just like, you're the queen of the underworld. You're my wife. Get it. Got it. Good. And so she was like, fuck you. And he was like, fine. Don't eat. Like, I don't care. You do you. I just think you're pretty and want you as my wife. Nice. The whole time though, Demeter, which is Persephone's mother, was just like, oh my god, where's my child? And she was so sad. She was so devastated. So basically, the whole world came to like a big halt in terms of harvesting and growth. So, because that's what Demeter's in charge of. She basically like froze the world. Everything went cold. Everything was awful. It's kind of like where I live. Jokes. Zeus, what the fuck? Like, can you get her out? Like, why? And so he's like, nothing I can do, haha. Because, you know, being the god of literally like everything and the main man in charge has no power that comes with it. There's really nothing I can do. Sorry. Okay. Nothing's gonna happen, even though he had all the reason to have something happen. And so, like I said, Persephone is starving, because if she ate the food of the dead, she would have to stay there. And so she's like, fuck, I hate Hades. I hate him so much. Oh my god, I hate him so much. I just hate him. I hate him so much. God, why am I here? This is so stupid. Oh god, I can't even believe it. Like, oh! Fuck. So, unlike me, it was not almonds that she ate. It was pomegranate seeds. She ate 4. And so, Zeus was finally like, Hades, dude, like, can you not? Like, I swear to God, can you just, oh, I'm God. Whoops. But you have to let her go, okay? Demeter's, like, flipping shit right now, and, like, you have to let her go. And so he's like, whatever. And so, Demeter and Persephone finally reunited, and she was like, dude, Hades is awful. And then Zeus basically was like, hold up. You ate the pomegranate seeds. Well, fuck, what can I do about that? So, for every pomegranate seed you ate, now you gotta stay in hell. She ate 4, like I said, so that means 4 months in hell. And in those 4 months, that's when Demeter's really sad because she misses her daughter. Hence why we have like 4-ish months of winter and whatever. Wow, explaining nature too. So yeah, that's a definitely weird way of marriage. Like, imagine you're like, I hate my husband so much. And so, I hate him. Also, we didn't even get married. He kind of just, like, grabbed me from the ground and just yeeted me on down. So, yeah, I hate him so much. And then you basically end up eating 5 pomegranate seeds or 5 things from his house. And then you finally get out because the law said so. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, you ate some of his food. You have to go back to his house 4 months out of a 12-month year. Do you understand me? Got it? All right, we're Gucci. And so that happened. But yeah, weird stories, am I right? But there's like one good story. It has like somewhat of a sweet sentiment to it, you know? It was Aphrodite and Hephaestus' marriage. So basically, when Aphrodite came into the world, she was just this goddess. Go figure, we're talking about gods and goddesses. She was a goddess. She was so gorgeous. She was absolutely the best. And she's prettier than anything any of the other gods and goddesses had ever seen. So they're like, oh crap, who's gonna marry her? Because you know that's what you think when you see a pretty person. Who's gonna marry her? Like, she has no other value at all. Just who's gonna marry her? And so it was a big fight all the time. Like, I'm gonna marry her. And Zeus was like, fine. We'll all sit down and we'll have this nice conversation with her. You're gonna offer her your finest things, like whatever you can bring to the marriage. She'll hear you out and whatever. And then whoever's the most eligible bachelor, this is basically the bachelor, you gonna marry her and she's gonna pick. And so, yeah. So all of the men are like, oh my god, I gotta go make all this stuff and like get all this stuff for her because she has to pick me. She's so pretty. And so Hera was just like, oh, what if Zeus is trying to like replace me? Like, what if he's like, I can offer you all of the heavens. And she's just gonna pick him. So like, crap. So she was like, fine, I'll help out Hephaestus because I hate him. If you don't know, She birthed Hephaestus on her own, and then she was like, oh my god, he's hideous. So she like threw him off of Olympus, and he was like kind of crippled from that. And so yeah, she like still hates him. He's like got nothing to offer according to the gods in terms of looks, but he's like the god of like smithery and like making stuff, and so he could literally make her anything. So I don't know why he needed any help at all, but Hera's like, okay, you gotta do this. So time comes for the little competition, the little contest, whatever, and the men are offering her like, oh, I can give you a chariot, I can give you a crown, and I can give you jewels. Also, I'm handsome, so like me. And she was like, right, because she had at least some standards. Yeah, it's Hephaestus' turn. He's like, I'll be a good hubby. And so she's like, oh, you sweet, I like you. And so she took him, and then she's like, also, you guys never said if you marry me, I'll give you these things. You kind of just said, I'll give you. So hand him over. Haha. So yeah, she was kind of a little prankster gangster over there. So that was a cute little thing, but even though Hephaestus was a great hubby and he gave her all these little gifts in addition to him being an actual good husband, Aphrodite was not a good wife at all. She thought, she's like, oh crap, well I'm stuck with this Uggo, and so now I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I can't be married to somebody else now, because that's not how life works back then. Or even with gods, they couldn't break their marriage rules, even though Zeus literally did it all the time. So Aphrodite was like, fine, I'm gonna be a little sneaky cheaty. Because I like Ares over there. He is a fine little boy. Ares is the god of war. He's like fiery and crazy and psycho. And so that's fun. And she was like, he seems interesting. And so basically they were having a little too much fun in Hephaestus' house, and Hephaestus found out about this, and he's like, I bet I can make a net and I can catch them. I can catch them. So what he did was make this net. He set it up, and then this is essentially what happened. I got you! I got you! Aha! I know that you were cheating on me. No. I know that you're cheating on me. He was all, I'm a sneaky sneak, and I bet I can catch her. Like, you know how, like, YouTubers are like, I caught my girlfriend cheating on me? Except this was his wife, and she was. This wasn't fake. So, yeah, that was kind of awkward, but obviously they stayed married, and she was like, But she still pretty much really liked Ares. She just, yeah, didn't get to be with him. And literally nothing happened to Ares. It was kind of like an embarrassing thing for Aphrodite, but Ares was just like, I did it, you guys. I got Aphrodite. Kind of the romance happening in Greek mythology is that great. Their infidelity, they're not loyal, okay? Infidelitis, that's not a word. They're not loyal, okay? They're really not loyal to their hubbies and their wifeys. But, you know, what can you do? So, now that I've blessed you with this information, I would like you to spend the rest of your Valentine's Day questioning your little loved ones, questioning whether or not they're cheating on you with Ares, or someone who is a little too much of an admirer will snatch you straight from hell, and drag you on down there with them. Or, don't try and be disloyal to your significant other, and cross their trust, okay? It's all about trust. These are the morals, these are the stories, and these are the victims.